All right, Prince, welcome back. Prince, you here?
Hello guys, this is
Hey,
Prince
how's
from
it going,
Legacy.
man?
How's it going, Dan? All good?
All good, all good. Oh my, do you think you could wear headphones? I can hear myself in the stream.
Oh, sorry, sure, sure.
And so, guys, good morning, good morning. So we're going to start the stream as usual. So this is the Ledger support team. We're here for about one hour. So yeah, just post your questions in the thread, and then we'll pick them up and answer everything live. Prince, how's the sound? Better?
Yeah, I think it's better and more clear, I guess.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I think let's see. I've got a few questions in the chat, but I think people are still trickling. Yeah, guys. So if you just joined the AMA, yeah, this is us. This is the Leisure Sport team, and we do this AMA pretty regularly now, right? Like 3 times a week.
Yeah, and now it's like it's better for you guys to reach us to like the data without any email or something. Just ask your question live, and if you know the answer, we'll definitely help you on the stream. And then if some things are a little difficult, then we'll ask you to open a case. And if you already have an open case, we can also escalate it for you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, basically we'll just keep going until there is no more question in the thread. So it depends on you guys. If you have any questions, drop them now, and I guess we could start. So do we have any questions?
Yeah, we don't have any questions here, I guess.
Okay, I think we've got Mick asking, I secure a coin on wallet with Ledger. Don't know how to access it now. Okay, Mick. So I think Mick, you're gonna have to explain, clarify, like which coin you secure on the wallet and which network, and just be a little more specific about your question, because right now it's not very clear which coin you're talking about, and also like what you're trying to do with the account.
Yeah, and if you have a reset or something, then
Yeah. So Prince, like what else can we talk about? Like while we wait for people to just come in, is there anything else, anything that's happening at Ledger?
so basically, the Flare airdrop, we can maybe talk about Flare because a lot of
Mm.
people have questions about Flare. Okay, so Mick has come back. He's asking it's dead ADA on deadlist wallet. Okay.
Okay. Right. So I think so. It depends. So Mike, like it depends on which type of wallet you've created with Daedalus. Because I think Daedalus like supports two types of wallets. They support Byron wallets and Shelly wallets, and I don't think Ledger Live supports Byron wallets. So that might be the reason why you can't see the account in Ledger Live. In which case, you can just create a new account in Ledger Live, and then send your coins from Daedalus to your, the account you see in Ledger Live, and you should be good to go.
Yep. Next is Stitch. Can I exchange on Ledger Live? So yeah, you can swap your assets on Ledger Live, but if you have any sorts of assets in mind, you can let us know and we can give you a more accurate way to swap your tokens. Next is Ben and John. Hey guys, why isn't my MetaMask connecting to my Ledger? I already had this working before, but then Ledger updated its firmware and then all of a sudden it locks me out completely. Okay, so I think maybe try switching the browsers, like try using Firefox instead of Chrome. Usually it helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, make sure the blind signing is enabled because
Yeah,
after the software update, the blind signing always gets reset. So make sure if you have enabled it, and then once you try it again, it should work.
yeah. Try Firefox. Personally, I like using Firefox with MetaMask. I think he works better than Chrome. So you might want to use different browser. Yeah.
Next is Maurice. When I have pre-order Ledger stacks, it will be shipped in March 23. Can I mint NFT and how?
Um, right. So the stacks. So stacks is shipping in April, as far as we know. Like not in March. I think March was the what we first announced, but then we came back and when you pre-ordered the device, like you should have received a confirmation email saying April. So this is the date we're looking at to start shipping the stacks. In
Hmm.
terms of like the NFT, I'm guessing you're talking about the Infinity NFT. right? What would you
Yep.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one.
In this case, that's just a. I think I've got one here. I'm not gonna show the QR code, but this is what it looks like. So you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get like one of those in the box, and there
Mm-hmm.
is a QR code on the other side. You just like scan the QR code, and the NFT will go into your wallet, and that's it. That's the only thing you have to do.
Benan, John, okay, he's using Brave, so I think yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe you can switch it to Firefox, and I think that it will solve the issue. And also, yeah, make sure to enable the blind signing and close all the apps, including Ledger Live, when trying to connect, because that one also, you know,
I think blind
it's like
signing is a good one, yeah, because it's tricky because it resets and you don't really know what's happening. But
yeah.
yeah,
That's Next is Stitch. What if 100 years from now there will be a software issue for an update of the ledger? Is there a possible scenario? I think it
a
could be
hundred
like
years.
anything can happen in 100 years. But if there will be anything like your private keys will still belong with you, and you can access any other third-party wallet and restore the same private keys in that wallet and access your funds. So the funds are always in your control when you're using a ledger device.
Yeah, Stitch, you're not a prisoner to Ledger. Like Ledger is just giving you the tool to create private key securely, right? And those private keys are represented by your 24 recovery phrase. If for whatever reason in the future you don't want to use Ledger device anymore, then you can take your recovery phrase and then punch it into a different hardware wallet device, and then you'll be able to have your funds. So again, you're not a hostage to Ledger in any way.
Next is the other. I have a question. When the requirements for currency are submitted by the team and things takes longer time under verification, can we know the reason for this delay? So I think for the counter values.
Hmm. Well, I mean, the process was the process, right? So we usually escalate that to the team. Then
Yep.
there's a special channel where we just put this in the queue, and
Yep.
then the engineers are going through the queue and just making sure that the takers are listed on Ledger Live, and then the API is functioning correctly. I did.
Exactly.
Usually it doesn't require an update, right? You can fix that, like you can do a hot fix, right?
Yeah, but some tokens will like are not supported by the service provider that we use to display the counter values, and so that might be also the case that we are not able to add a lot of tokens at the same time. But yeah, but soon we are trying to add as many tokens and counter values to as many tokens as possible, and we are working on improving it definitely. And thank you for the feedback. Next is Ayodele. Will Phantom be on Ledger anytime soon? So I think Phantom is supported in Ledger Live right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just need
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
So you have an ETH app, and then you'll be able to add a Phantom account directly inside Ledger Live. So
Yeah, but I don't think tokens are supported, right? It's only FT. It's only Phantom, right? The native coin.
yeah. Next is Mick. Mick is back. Not clear on your answer. I appreciate you guys doing the live stream. I have a Ledger Live and I have two nanos. All of what shows on Ledger Live is from my first nano. I used a new nano to secure. Okay, and then music to secure ADA. Okay. So that's why he's not able to see that with the second device.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you need the same recovery phrase in both Ledger devices, Mick, because the recovery phrase represents one set of private keys. So your Daedalus account is probably tied to one set of private keys, but not the other. So you want to make sure you have the exact same private keys in both devices, and make sure that the recovery phrase, so the private keys in a device, are created by the device, right? Like don't go and import your Daedalus, because Daedalus will also try to create a standalone wallet for you and give you like their own recovery phrase. But you don't wanna take that and put it in the ledger, right? Because it's super dangerous. Like a lot of people have done that, and then they've end up like
Yeah, it just defeats the purpose of having a cold wallet if you're trying to import it. So seed phrase from a hot wallet, because that's the purpose of generating it offline.
yeah.
But if you're still not like sure, maybe you can open up a support ticket with us and explain a bit more about the issue, and then we'll help you out and get the ADA account you're looking for. Next is Marius. Thanks, guys. Another question: is it possible to, in the near future, to have AVAX on Ledger Live without a third-party wallet? So yes, it is. It's definitely on our roadmap, and our teams are working on integrating. I think first it will be send and receive, and I think next it will be staking as well in the future. So yeah, it's definitely on the roadmap. Next is Ravi. Hi, Prince. Hi, Dan. I was on the AMA with you guys yesterday.
Hey,
Oh, yeah. Just
Okay.
want you to know, no one has responded to my 4-5 emails on how to claim my BTC bonus. 4 ledger purchased, and I still don't have a case ID. So Ravi, if you could do one thing, you can just open up a support case like right now and explain just like you discussed about this with us on the AMA, and share the ticket number with us in the comments, and then we'll reply to that. You can do that. So
Yeah. Yeah, we need
exactly.
a case number to be able to help you, mate.
Yeah, because if you send like we have a email ID called support@ledger.com. So if you use that and send an email directly, it's like we won't be able to get your email because there's like tons of email inside sent to that email. So
Mm.
if you open a ticket, then that's the only way we can be able to locate the ticket and like the information you sent to us, and then we'll be able to help you.
Yeah, and I think like generally the BTC so is that the Black Friday BTC? You think
Yep.
that's what he's
Yep.
talking about? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there is an app in Ledger Live, but it's a little hidden. You have to go in the Discover section. So
Hmm.
you click that, and then there is an app called Refer a Friend, and then you have
Yes.
to click that and then paste the code that you got from Black Friday, and then you'll be able to start a counter. So there's going to be like a cooling period, it's 15 days, after which you'll be able to claim the BTC. So it's quite a lot of steps. But yeah, we'll take care of you if you open the tickets. Then we'll give you instructions, like detailed instructions.
Yep. Next is Stitch. Why there is a limit of an app can be downloaded in Ledger. Why Ledger didn't make it a bit more storage so that we can download all the apps we wanted.
It's a trade-off, right?
Yeah, I think usually the devices have a secure that the chips which are there, they do not make it very in big size. These are not ordinary storage chips, right? So these are like secure element chips, and I think when we launched Nano S, it was like very small, but then now it's like bigger than it before. So before it used to have in KB space, and with the firmware updates and the new apps, because the new apps have like new features in that, so they have to be a little bigger in size. So
Mm.
that way, yeah, they take a lot of space in your device. But you can ask in future, we're working on if there is a bigger device option to get a bigger storage to you guys. We'll definitely work on that.
Yeah, and we to be fair, we are trying to reduce the size of apps, but it's a little difficult because every single time a blockchain launches like a new feature, then that will increase the size of the app. Yeah, because like it's more code in the app, right? So it's a constant trade-off on like how much size it needs to take in storage, and also like what features we want to bring to Ledger users. So it's a delicate balance here. Also, if you're using a Nano S, please consider getting a Nano S Plus. You'll get almost equivalent size to the Nano X, or equivalent size. Is it the same or
Yeah, I think it's
almost the
almost
same?
almost
Almost
the
the
same.
same. Yeah. And so you'll have plenty of storage. At this point, like I have to say, the Nano S is probably not the best option. If you have a Nano S, keep it. Still works, still compatible with Ledger Live, but you might want to look into like upgrading so you get like just more storage, and it's a bigger screen. It's just a better experience in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you guys also, if you are managing NFTs, you won't be able to do it directly with the Nano S. So we need Nano S Plus and Nano S. Nano X is the device you can look forward.
Hmm.
Next is Islam. It's been months for my refund process to come because I sent my Nano X back to you. Please help. So Islam, you can do one thing. If you have reached out to us, you can just drop the ticket number, and the refund policy works like once the device is back at our warehouse, the refund process then it starts. So if it's already there, then you can ping the shipping team, and then they start the refund. Next is Ayodole saying thanks. Welcome. Next is Afru. Okay, sorry, Kazim. Guys, I'm not happy with the ledger support and customer service. I have a damaged ledger and was on to support. They asked for my email and then they will get in touch with me, but did not, I guess.
Hmm.
So again, Kazim, you can just drop the case number and we'll escalate it to the shipping team, or the agent who is in charge will notify him, and then he'll get back to you.
Yeah, be patient, guys. I know it's frustrating. Like we're trying our best to catch up to the backlog. It's been very, very difficult. Like since FTX, it just caught us by surprise, to be honest. And so now we're ramping up the team just to make sure that we've got enough agents on deck, like just to pick up those tickets. But so the delays are longer than usual. But we will get back to everyone. So don't worry about it. We will take care of you. But again, apologies for the delayed answer. We're trying our best, and we will get back to you. Yeah.
And we also open like live chats right now. So if you guys like, you can also go to a page and you can, give your old ticket number and then the live chat, and then the agents will help you at least. So that's what we're trying to, and that's why we're doing this YouTube AMA, so we can do same thing what we're doing on an email but faster. Ravi says last person was in touch with me was Felix, but then total silence. Okay, so he's gonna open us up a ticket and then share it with us. Okay. Yes, it was Black Friday, and have done refer a friend with scratch off numbers but unable to claim. Okay. So yeah, just open a support ticket and we'll get you this fixed for you. Don't worry. Deep DV Chan, any promo codes? No, I think we have any promo codes. No.
Not today, at least. We used to
Yeah.
do promo codes like every single time, but like we stopped.
Yeah.
It might come
Next,
back. Yeah, just
yeah.
keep tuning in.
Mhm. Next is same question from him. I had a few people reach out to me about building them an open source hardware wallet. What are some arguments against this?
What's the question again? Sorry, I missed it.
I had a few people reach out to me about building them an open source cold hardware wallet. What are some arguments against this
Against building an open source called
hardware
hardware
wallet?
wallet?
Yeah, like ours is closed, like so closed
Right.
source. Like that.
Well, I think there is more. Like, so the approach we took at Ledger is like there are components of the secure elements that have NDAs, and that's why we cannot like publish, those parts of the technology. But we did it for security purposes, right? It's not to hide any shady activity or anything like that. It's just to make the system more secure. So there is this balance between open source and closed source, right? Uh, Everything that's open source is not necessarily more secure. It's trade off. It depends on what you expect. It depends on your security model. Ledger went that way, but in general, I mean, I don't think like a lot of people know that most of the important things that matter are already open source. So, for example, Ledger Live completely open source. All the code, the app code is open source as well. You just go to Ledger HQ on GitHub. Everything is there, and so that's the most important because you're able to, if you read the code from those apps, like you will understand what the apps will do with your coins, basically. So yeah.
Yep. Next is Shane. BUSD on Ledger from Binance Exchange. Do you have to send it on Ethereum network onto your Ethereum account, or you can send it to with other networks to BUSD account on Dematic for Binance chain? I think BUSD. I think it's Binance, so I think you should send it via BSC network, and it would be better and cheaper as well. But again, if the token is, you can go to the Explorer and check if the token is also on different networks. You can send it. Try sending a small test amount first, so then you are sure that the transaction is successful, and then you can send more tokens to it. Next is Powell. Hello, it's been 30 days and I still did not get my $10 for referring a friend. So again, we'll need to check. Like you have to share the details with us about this, and by opening a case, and we'll look into this and help you out. Go on. Next is crypto PRDX. Is there any time schedule on any announcements on supported ledger validator nodes for the future?
It's a good question. I don't know if we have a roadmap or like a public roadmap for this.
No.
I'm guessing maybe. So I'm just venturing a guess here, but since we're gonna be supporting Cardano at some point, so maybe we'll support Cardano. We'll have a white labeled ledger node. Usually those nodes are ran by third parties, right? I mean, of course, we keep an eye on what they're doing, and they trusted third parties. But like for example, the Killen is taking care of the Ethereum nodes. The Ethereum staking on Ledger Live. But yeah, I don't think there's a public roadmap for that.
But it's coming soon, guys. Like we're working on it. So and even AVAX, like HBAR staking could be coming soon. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So we could crypto AVAX. When will AVAX be on Ledger? So yeah, soon, very soon. But we don't have an ETA because we can't provide ETAs, guys, as you know. But we can let you know that it's on the roadmap for sure. So next is Stitch. What if there is a problem with my Ledger in future? Let's say it has a problem with accessing my crypto. Can you guys fix it? Does all problems of Ledger is fixable?
Yeah, I think yes. Well, I mean, so the device doesn't really matter. It's really the recovery phrase. So anything related to the recovery, anything related to the device or Ledger Live, we can fix. It's just it's hardware and software. It's fixable. If the device breaks, we can replace it. But also the fact that because you have your recovery phrase, then if no Ledger device is ever available again in the future, you can just get like a new device punch your recovery phrase into that new device, and you'll be able to use your funds. So, so yeah, as long as you keep that recovery phrase safe, you'll be fine, right? But again, like the scammers will try to get it, because if they get it, then they'll be able to steal your funds. So this is what you need to secure, right? The recovery phrase. It all depends on the recovery phrase.
Next is Ravi Behel. Sorry, where do I open the ticket? So you can go to ledger.com, our website, and on the right hand side, extreme right, you'll see a support tab. Click on that, and then you'll go to the support page. On the bottom right, you'll see a contact us button, and then you can click on that, and then you'll have a chat bot who will take your information from you, and in the end, he'll give you a ticket number after you submit the email ID. And then you can drop that same 6-digit ticket number in the comments, and then we'll pick it up.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat as well for you.
Okay.
There you go.
Next is Islam. Have you guys heard about the news that Arabian deserts are turning green with rivers for the first time in 5,000 years? Okay. Non-crypto.
Great.
Next is Siri. Can you tell us about the risk to stake in Clean? Is there a risk of Clean smart contract security breach? Thanks.
Well, I mean, so it's smart contract. Like, every smart contract has some degrees of risks. So yeah, you have to be aware of that. No technology is infallible. So yes, there is some risk there. But Keelan is a very experienced staker. So, that's why we chose them to be the service provider for Ethereum staking. So yeah, so there is like a series of things to know when you stake ETH. First of all, there might be a smart contract risks, but there's also the risk of being slashed. So that's something as well that you might want to look into. But again, Keelan is a very, very professional and very accomplished third party when it comes to deploying staking infrastructure, and that's why they are in Ledger Live. So I would say if you have to stake 32 ETH, Keelan is probably a very good option. Or you can do it yourself. If you don't trust Keelan, that's fine. You can just set up a node, and then you can stake yourself. You can also, if you don't have 32 ETH, you can stake 16 ETH using Rocket Pool, for example. That's also doable. All you need is a powerful computer and then some experience, IT experience, I would say, but it's doable.
Next is Chan. Open source worries me because the code is out there for everyone to figure out and try to find a backdoor.
Yes. Yes, that's one of the risks, indeed.
Next is Stitch. Is it possible to have fiat currency in Ledger? So the answer is no, because then it will be just like an exchange, which is not our business model, and that is why we will not be able to support fiat currency, because you cannot link Ledger to any bank account or anything like that. So, okay, I think that's the questions. There are no more questions for now, I guess. Everyone.
Okay, great. Let me check on Twitter as well. There's a couple questions in there. No. Oh, yeah, there's one sticking on the hashpack. Yeah, so people excited for HBAR sticking, I guess. But again, no ETA. I mean, sorry, sorry to be a broken record, guys, but like it's very difficult for us to give you an ETA. Again, like it's software. Things can get pushed back, gets delayed all the time, or sometimes they ship on time as well. But in any case, that's why we don't promise anything, because the developers also might not even know when they'll be able to ship a feature, because something might happen that push back the entire release schedule. So yeah, that's why I know it's frustrating not to know exactly when things gonna happen, but this is where we are.
Yep. Yeah, true. So yeah, I was talking about the Flare airdrop that has been happening in the XRP communities.
Right.
I'm pretty stoked about it. So maybe we can talk about that, and maybe if some of you are XRP users, then
yeah, I think let's share what we've seen on tickets. I think so. I think like a lot of folks, so Flare dropped their token, right, to the XRP community, to everyone that had participated into the airdrop back in 2021. But there were a couple conditions, right? If you wanted to be able to claim your Flare, you had to hold XRP on your accounts in, was it December 2020, right? In
December 2020 snapshot, yeah.
Snapshot. So you had to have XRP in your account through the December 2020 snapshot, and then you had to submit an Ethereum address before June 2021, I think. So if you did that, then you're good. you should be able to claim Flare. But just to make sure, go to XRP scan, paste your XRP address, and navigate to the Flare tab at the bottom, and then check if there is an address, register, and some Flare to claim as well. If you see not registered, then there is nothing to claim, and unfortunately you were not eligible for the airdrop. And I think Prince, there is a lot of folks that are having issue finding the coins, right? They can see an address in XRP scan, but they don't really know where to find the coins.
Yep, exactly. Because I think the issue is since Flare account works on the Ethereum based model, so as you cannot add empty Ethereum accounts in Ledger Live, you have to have at least a little bit of funding in the first account. So same thing for Flare. And the people who have multiple Ethereum accounts, they might have given a second address, and so they are not able to see their Flare airdrop in their account. So guys, don't worry, your Flare is in the second address, but you cannot just see it in Ledger Live. You can just need to connect your Ledger device to the MetaMask and just transfer your Flare from second address to the first one, and then you'll be able to see it in Ledger Live.
Yeah, that's true. And I think some folks as well, like they are using a different Ledger device, because of course this Flare address that you see in XRP scan, right? Your Flare address, it was created by a Ledger device. I mean, it originally was an Ethereum address, right? That's the one you provided, but the private keys are in the wallet that created the Ethereum address you submitted for the claim. So you need to make sure you've got the same device with the same recovery phrase seeded inside the device. If you have a different device with a different recovery phrase, then you will not be able to find the account, because the private keys are not there, so Ledger will not be able to find the account. MetaMask will not be able to find the account, so you'll have to go back and find that original recovery phrase you had back then, put it back into your Ledger device, and then try to add the account via Ledger Live or MetaMask. But I think there is a lot of confusion around that. We've got a few videos on that and material on the App Center as well. But if we can help with that, just let us know, guys. Like we can help.
Yep. And we want to set the room down.
Yeah, sure. So guys, this is the Ledger support team. We're here for another 20 minutes, give or take. If you have any questions, just drop the questions in the thread and we'll answer them.
Okay, next is CD. Does it worth it to have both Infinity and Genesis Ledger NFTs? I think, you can be part of the ecosystem and community, and you already have a Genesis Pass, which will already give you exclusive access to different collabs and mints. But then you can also have Infinity Pass, so which I don't think there are any special differences. So, like Genesis Pass is still going to be limited in edition. So
yeah, I think the Infinity Pass is it comes free in the box, right? As long as you buy a Ledger device, then you'll have it. It's more like a POAP, I would say. It's more like a recognition you're part of the Ledger community, and that's it. Maybe there will be more utility to it, maybe some airdrop, but they won't be as valuable as if you get the Genesis Pass, for example. The Genesis Pass is really more like the VIP club, and those will get you access to more interesting collabs and opportunities to network and things like that. So the Infinity Pass is just like more generic, I think, and that's why it's free. Why it just comes with any Ledger device.
Yep. Next is CD. Yes, CD. Thanks for your answer, team. Welcome. Next is Testney. Same device, same ETH address, but still Flare wallet shows 0 Flare. Etherscan Explorer, etc. are showing the right amount of some 10,000 Flare.
So I think here it's one of the two. Either you don't have the same recovery phrase inside the device, and so that's why the Ledger Live or MetaMask is not able to find the accounts, because it cannot find the private keys, right? The second thing might be what Prince was describing earlier, which is when you created your Ethereum address to claim the airdrop back in 2021, you probably used MetaMask at that time, but instead of selecting the first address, the one at the top, you selected the second address, or the third or the fourth. And unfortunately, Ledger Live will not give you the possibility to add 4 addresses at the same time. It will just give you the top address, and that's it. And if you want to discover the second address, then you'll have to send a little bit of coins to the first address to be able to create the second address, and so on and so forth, right? So you might want to try first of all, make sure that it's the same recovery phrase that was in your device back then, and then try via MetaMask. I think that's the easiest way to find the flare, and make sure that that MetaMask is connected to the flare network as well. That's another thing that folks get wrong. Like they still on the Ethereum network and they expect the flare to pop up in the Ethereum on the Ethereum network, but no, you need to be connected to the flare network. Sorry, there was a long ramble here, but there is a lot of things to take into consideration to get the flare.
Yep. Next is he's saying, okay, thank you very much for the help. Next is Mustafa, thank you for your kind help and support to general public. Okay, welcome. Next is Christy, can you explain derivation paths?
Yeah, sure. We can explain that.
Yeah.
So you can think of your recovery phrase, your private keys are like a tree, right? And the tree has multiple branches. And the tree is so big actually that it has got millions and millions and millions of branches. And all of these branches are different accounts. So the derivation path is just instructions for your device to find accounts that are located on this tree. M means the base of the tree. That's usually what each derivation path starts. And then each number after the slash represents like some directions within the tree and some indexes along the tree. So that's one way you can think of it. And so without the derivation path, you have the tree, but you cannot find the account because there's so many branches that you don't know where the account is located. I guess that's how we describe the derivation path. I don't know if you have a better description.
I would describe it as there's like a master key. It's your 24 words, and so each app which you install on Ledger Live for each blockchain. So once you create an account, so those app will derive the private keys from those 24 word seed phrase. That's the master key, and each app and each blockchain you start adding in your Ledger Live. So each will have their own derivation path, each app and each account. And yeah, it's just this small thing, and then you get all the accounts. And that's why if you can you lose the device, but as long as you have the 24 words in your possession, it will always generate and derive the same private keys, and so you get access to the same accounts on the blockchain because your sets are not on the device or Ledger Live; they're on the blockchain. So yeah. I guess maybe this one also complicated as well. But
It's not an easy concept to wrap your head around, especially if you're not a mathematician or a cryptographer.
but you can give an example, maybe like example, if you are using Ethereum and you create an account in Ledger Live, that will be derived from a 24 word seed phrase, and if you connect and if you use a MetaMask and then without Ledger and then you create an account there, then it also will be derived from a different derivation path. So I think that's the main difference. I would say like each wallet has its own app and own derivation path. So I guess
Yeah. And that's why sometimes with the same private keys, you're not able to find the coins across different wallets, right? So
Yeah.
MetaMask will show you a certain number of accounts. Ledger will show you different accounts. That's actually a bad example because they have pretty much the same derivation path, but some wallets, for example, will not have the same derivation path as Ledger Live, and that might cause confusion. Although the coins are there, it's just like they're lost in that, tree of millions of accounts.
Next is City. With EIP 4337, are you guys going to rebuild UX and UI to get a better, simple onboarding for new users?
Yeah.
I heard that it will be a game changer, but only for EVM.
So I think he's talking about account abstraction here. So there's two things to. So the answer is yes, we are trying to bring account abstraction to Ledger users, but it's gonna take a long time just because first of all, account abstraction is not implemented in Ethereum yet. It's still at the stage of EIPs. It is, however, implemented in Starknet, so that's something we'll probably deploy account abstraction and smart contract accounts first on Starknet once we implement Starknet, and then we'll have something called Ledger Fresh, which will be our first implementation of account abstraction probably, and basically the goal is to be able to have accounts that you can program to have different spending policies. So for example, you could have a situation where you give your phone authorization to spend a certain amount of stable coins per day with just the touch of a button, right? You just like use your biometrics, for example, and then you'll be able to spend just like you would spend with Apple Pay, right? So you would sign a ledger transaction that will say, okay, I authorize my phone to spend that much money, right? And then you can go ahead and spend with your phone, but you're still spending from your ledger account. So that's a huge UX improvement in my opinion. And then later down, because account abstraction abstracted accounts also are smart contracts, you can program interesting things in them. For example, you can program whitelisting, so this will avoid like things like address poisoning, for example, which is causing a lot of troubles right now with a lot of users. So yeah, it's a new design space. We're very excited about it, and we have an internal innovation team that's looking at how they can implement that. And the first one will be Ledger Fresh. Sorry, that was a long answer, but I love that kind of abstraction. Thank you for asking the question.
Yeah. Next is Mick. Is there a possibility I won't be able to access my ADA? So Mick, as long as we don't see like what's the actual case, we'll try our best, of course, to help you find that missing account which you're telling. But if your device doesn't have the same private keys that was used to create that account, then then in that case you will lose the access to that account. Like your access will be still there. It's just that your device won't have the private keys to that account, and so you won't be able to access it. But let's not think about that. Let's just think about like it's a derivation path issue or something different, and we'll try to help you do the best we can. Next is Winnie Rondo. Is there anyone out there creating the recovery words in different form besides paper words? Yeah, definitely. So I think we have this crypto solutions where you can use this card and you can punch the numbers on like the recovery phrase on it, right? Like the cryptos use or the crypto steal.
Oh, right, yeah. That's what they meant. Yeah. You can back up your seed on a metal storage solution. Highly
Yeah,
recommended, by the way. You should do it.
yeah. Because in case there's a fire or there's water damage, then these 24 words will be secured in that device. Like it's not a device, but it's kind of a solution basically.
Yeah.
Next is RH. How do I know? How do I send VET on mobile app and not desktop? So VChain is not supported in Ledger Live. So I don't know if VSync has a mobile app as well.
They might have. I think that's compatible with Ledger.
Okay. So I just need to download the VSync wallet. You can just go to App Store or Play
Uh,
Store and then check it.
oh, it's in
I
there.
think
It's in the App Store.
uh, I can check it if you want.
I'll take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty just checking for your question, RH. The XRP Club is asking, will you add tokens to the XRP accounts as well as NFT viewer? The answer is eventually we will, but it might take some time. But yeah, hang out with us, and eventually we'll launch that. We know that the XRP community wants that feature, and so yeah, we'll make sure to escalate that. Christy is saying thank you, Christy. Thanks for coming on, mate. And Prince, let me know when you're done as well. Then Gory Schwab is asking, how can I be sure I have the correct original Ledger Live program installed? Can I also just uninstall and reinstall Ledger Live to be sure? Yes, absolutely. You can totally do it. Your funds are not at risk. Ledger Live is not holding your coins. The private keys to your coins are in the device. You can download the genuine version of Ledger Live via the Ledger website, and I can drop the link maybe in the chat. It's simply like ledger.com/ledgerlive, but let me drop the link because be careful, there has been instances of fake Ledger Live apps, and those will ask you for your recovery phrase, and of course you never want to give your recovery phrase to anyone. Prince, you...
Yeah, I don't see any mobile app. So I think for now you'll only need to use. You'll be only able to manage using the desktop VSync wallet.
Got it.
Okay. So what are the last question you took?
Yeah, the last one was so it's not Yoda. Says, I love my Ledger, thank you, but one complaint: will we ever be able to support multi-seed phrases with a single device a bit like a phone, I guess, like multi-SIM. With a single device, having a piece of hardware for each certificate chain is cumbersome. Yeah, I don't know what you think, Prince. I don't even know if that's secure per se, or if that would lead to more confusion.
For now, yeah, I think like having multiple seed phrases in one device will definitely create more confusion because you'll be creating accounts from different seed phrase, and then if by chance like one of them gets deleted or reset or something, then you don't know which one was used for which account, right? And then you'll be like locked out of your accounts. So,
I agree.
but you can still at least store like
Passphrase, right?
passphrase, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, yeah, sorry, go for it.
No, go for it. Like you are like expert on passphrase, so
No, I mean the passphrase. Technically, the passphrase is just what you described, not Yoda. It's a way to add a second recovery phrase to your device. Um, so it's a recovery phrase that's 25 word long instead of 24 word long, but it's the same thing. So yeah, technically you can store two recovery phrases inside your device, sort of.
yep. Next is one Chinese user, Snap Moda. Yeah, he's saying that users in China have not been able to use Ledger Live for a long time because of the Chinese firewall ban. Network service and needs to replace the upgrade service as soon as possible. This is a very serious problem, and it has been long, and you will lose many customers. So this is, I think, going due to ongoing local restrictions in your region, and as it turns out to be, there is not much that we can do on our end from here because, of course, government cannot fight with them. And but yeah, we like you can still use like a third-party apps to manage your assets, definitely. And hopefully, in few months, maybe we can find a workaround. But for now, there is none. Sorry for that.
Yeah. We'll escalate though because whatever we can do about it, but we're
Yep,
aware of
yep.
this. We definitely aware of that issue, and if there's a solution we can find, we'll definitely do it because we want to make our Chinese customers happy for sure.
Next is Abhijit. Will third-party apps installed on Ledger device using Ledger Live and knows our private keys? Each apps are installed into secure element, if I'm right. So third-party apps,
Oh
okay,
no,
like the crypto apps. No,
yeah, like MetaMask, right?
no, I think it like the crypto apps installed on the Ledger device, so they do not have your access to your private keys. Because they are stored in the secure element chip. On when you sign a transaction, only the transaction information is passed to that chip and confirms the transaction. Then only transaction information is sent back to the app or the account, right? So no private keys are being shared. It's only offline, completely offline on your device. RH is saying thanks, welcome. Ravi is back. Looks like support is busy. We have been in queue for 15 minutes. We'll try to get a case ID during this AMA. If not, we'll drop the next one. When's your next AMA? Same time tomorrow? No, it's not going to be same time tomorrow. It's going to be on Thursday, but we'll tweet about it, I guess, and we'll like you can just follow us on Twitter, and then you'll be informed. Next is Gucci Squab. Thanks, welcome. Uh, if you Wape, Kazim is saying
Thanks,
thank you.
Kazim.
I just got an email from you guys. Okay,
Thanks,
nice,
Kazim.
sorted
Yeah.
out. Welcome. Next is what is the point of carousel visibility option on Ledger Live app? Didn't understand what's supposed to do.
I think
So
it's to advertise new features and things like that, right? It's mostly for marketing purposes.
yeah, I guess. And
Yeah.
also if there's status updates for if there's any a network issue or
Mm.
something
But you
for
can
that.
you can remove it if you don't like it. Just disable it.
RH is saying, how do you back up a secret phrase? So I think he's meaning the passphrase.
The passphrase. Yeah. So it's a little difficult to explain to describe because there's multiple steps. You can go to support.ledger.com and type passphrase. You'll find an article and a video that explains like all the different steps to create secret accounts. There's also a video on this channel called "How to Create Secret Accounts with a Ledger Device" or with a passphrase, something like that. That will explain to you how to create a passphrase. So check it out.
Yoda, so next is some Asian user. Ledger will support CBDC in future. Will Ledger support CBDC in future?
Like the central bank digital currencies.
I guess so.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, yeah, it depends. I guess so. If they are on crypto rails, then why not? We're just a neutral platform, so we're not in the game of choosing like electing the winner of the blockchain wars.
Mhm.
We're just an open platform, so if CBDCs become something and people want to store them on their device and there's demand for it, maybe we'll see. But they have to launch first. You know, it seems to be still undecided if in many countries if whether they will be launching or not, and whether they will live on blockchain rails, because that's the big thing. They have to be on blockchains, otherwise we can't integrate them.
Yep. Next is Yoda is back. Currently, I have a burner ledger and a vault ledger. Each one has their own master key. I want to store more than one master key on a ledger. So we can escalate this feedback to our devs, and then let's see if what is their thought on this one. But it would be difficult, but I guess maybe in future if there's a technology out there which our devs design, then it could be a possibility as well. So
Yeah. Consider a passphrase. Like passphrase will basically do the same thing, you know. Like at least you will be able to store sort of two recovery phrases within the same device. So if you have two devices, that's four different recovery phrases.
yeah,
Um,
already. Yeah,
yeah,
because when
that's
you have a
plan.
recovery phrase, you'll have like normal access to the normal accounts with your recovery phrase, whereas passphrase will be like the recovery phrase plus the 25th word that will make your passphrase, and it will unlock new accounts for you, and you won't be able to access the accounts recovery phrase accounts with the passphrase pin if you unlock it with that pin, and you same thing will go with the other way around. So
Exactly. That's the cool thing about passphrases. You have two different pins, and you can
Mhm.
choose. You can toggle between your normal accounts and passphrase accounts with just using one pin or the other pin. So it just makes management easier, I think, than having like four different recovery phrases. Check it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
You might.
Yeah. Mick is back. If this is the case that I may lose my ADA, I wish I had been more clear that in buying Ledger Nano devices, you must set them all with the same seed phrase. So yeah, Mick. So if you have created Ledger, like if you connected your Ledger device to Deadless, and if you created that account via Deadless, so there could be a derivation path issue. So maybe like we'll help you out, like like on seeing like how we need to investigate like what's going on because. Yeah, there's like a lot of things that can be possible. It's possible that they have a different derivation path, or maybe you thought that you had a ledger account, but then it was not connected to your ledger seed phrase, only the deadless seed phrase. That's also a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Or and you can do one thing, like you can connect your ledger device to Yoroi or Adalite or I think Typhoon,
Yeah.
and connect your device there, and then try to see if there's an option you can see the same account on those wallets. Because if your private keys, as you say, is the same private key, then those third party apps should also show you the same address.
And we
So you
have
can try that.
documentation. Oh, sorry, French. Go for it.
No, and so yeah, you can try that. So that's it.
Yeah, we have documentation on all the different apps, third-party apps that Prince just described: Typhoon, Eternal, Ada, Ada Lights, Yoroi, not Daedalus, but yeah. So you might wanna go to the help center support.ledger.com, check that out, and try connecting your Ledger device to all these different third-party apps. See if you can find your coins. But again, if it's a derivation path issue, your coins are not lost. They're
Yeah,
just it's just that the wallet cannot detect them, but they're still in the wallet, right? So it's a very very different issue. It's not like you lost your coins.
yeah. And in the end, like as if you say that this account was linked to your ledger address, ledger device, and just let us know if you're able to do the transactions with the when you connect the device to that account on Deadless. So that will confirm that yeah, the private keys are same. That would also help us. And if that's the case, then we'll also help you like exporting the private keys, and then try to get it via a third party app like your tokens, and then you can create a new account and send your assets back to the device. So there are a lot of things that we can help you out with, but then we'll need to look at it in detail and then give you an accurate response based on that. Next is symbols. Is there any way to possibly get Flare airdrop if you didn't have an Ethereum address before June 21?
No, unfortunately, there is no way. You had to submit an Ethereum address. I forgot the exact steps you had to take, but I think there was a portal, and you had to submit a transaction from your XRP account and paste your Ethereum address in a memo field. It was something like that. If you didn't do that before June 2021, then it's too late. What you can do, however, is I think because only 15% of the total Flare airdrop has been distributed currently, and I think the rest of it will be distributed to people that have wrapped their Flare. So if you want to take part of the future distribution of Flare tokens, what you can do is take your flare and just wrap that flare, and then you might be able to get the more flare in the future. And we have documentation on the App Center that explains how to wrap your flare. So you might want to look into this.
Yep. Next is Guri. Do I need my ledger device and pin when I do a recovery with 24 words? No, you don't need it. And I think Yoda also already answered it. Thank you, Yoda. Ravi Bell. Okay, speaking to William, and he's generated a case ID. He's also sent me with the procedure, so I'll check that out first, and then I'll drop the case ID. Okay, no worries. We're making progress. Thanks, guys, for these AMAs. I'm really enjoying them and super educational content. Thank you, Ravi.
That's cool. Thanks a lot. Gives us the strength to keep going, because
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, we enjoy also. It's just a more fun way to do support as well, and we know that you guys like to ask questions directly. And if I was a Ledger customer, I would like to do those AMAs as well, I think.
Okay, I think then we don't have many questions. Maybe you want to wrap it up earlier. Then I don't know
Yeah, I
if
think that's fine. It's almost been an hour, I think, right?
yep,
More
we
or less.
started like 10 minutes less, like I think 50 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, Ravi saying, keep up the good work. Thank you, mate. We'll be back. No, Yoda. Thank you, mate. Yeah, thanks. Happy that you guys help and make a scene. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, guys. It's really awesome. Okay, one more CD.
Yeah. See, do you plan on opening a physical store? I work for La Maison de Bitcoin. By the past, we was the only reseller and trained many users. Thanks, Steve.
I would love it. I would love it. I'm an internal advocate for a physical store, because I would absolutely love to physically onboard people. I think we would get tons of traffic, not just from France and Paris, but also like from all over the world. It would be such an awesome way to meet the customers, and also like, we could have like trading sessions and talk about crypto, and just, like properly onboard people and just telling them like, hey, like this is your recovery phrase, please don't share it. Just properly onboard people, and it would solidify the community so much. And like, believe me, like there is a push internally to make it happen, but of course that would cost a lot of money, right? It's a lot of logistic. So the current situation is we're still in the bear market. I think Ledger needs a little more time to just get through the bear market, and then get that next momentum and start something like that. But I hope that we're going to do it. I would definitely be staffing this store. Maybe Prince, you would as well, because that would be such an awesome experience to meet you guys directly.
Mobile Ledger Labs. Let's do it here in USA. Well, yeah, sure, that will be fun.
Ice cream truck. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can sell ice cream too. Why not? Yeah, it's just so awesome to. That's the problem I find with support via email, like traditional type of support. It's very long. It's very difficult, and there's tons of information that gets lost, and it's frustrating for the user and sometimes for the agents. Whereas if you have like a person in front of you, it's just a different feeling. You just get like, you feel like part of the same family, and we are to a certain extent part of the same family, right? We all crypto holders. Like CS Ledger, at the end of the day, we just super users of Ledger devices, and we also like crypto passionate, and so yeah, for sure we want to meet you guys, and we want to have more contact with the community. That's what we want.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why this is the first step. Like this is the first step towards that goal that we want to reach of providing more proactive support rather than being reactive. And so, yeah, more streams coming, guys, and on different platform as well. So tomorrow it's going to be on Twitter live, and Thursday is going to be again. We're going to stream on YouTube again, and yeah, in future it's going to be I think on Friday on Twitter as well. But and then you can ask your questions live because it's going to be on Twitter AMA. So instead of typing, you can just ask live questions, and that would be fun as well. And yeah, we're going to keep doing this every week, so it'll be easier for you to reach us, and rather than waiting for us to reach you. So
Absolutely. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. Thank you so
Yep.
much, guys. It was a fun conversation. We'll definitely escalate the ice cream truck and physical store. I think that's important. And yeah, see you next time. Don't share your recovery phrase. Again, stay safe. Okay, just don't mess with your recovery phrase, and don't share it with anyone.
yeah, anyone asking for it is not us. We never want that. And yeah, don't share it, and we don't do DMs, and that's all. What else? Yeah, don't sign malicious transactions. Don't move your scammy NFTs. Don't fall for lottery NFTs that are going
Yeah.
around in the market. So don't fall for that as
Or
well.
ask us, right? If you're about to do something crazy, you're not sure, and you've got sweaty palms, and you're not sure what you're going to do, just pause. Okay, don't become victim to FOMO, and just wait for the next AMA and then ask us the question. Hey guys, like this is what I'm about to do. Do you think that's safe? Why not? And then we can help you live. Okay, but don't take any risk. Okay, this is too important. Anyway.
Yep. Exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
See you next week. So Tuesday on Thursday. Bye bye.
Take care.